Hi Samir, good morning.
एप्लीकेशन भी चालू हो गया, मतलब जिससे मतलब अपने को जिससे ट्रैफिक भेजना है उससे हम जा रहे हैं, बराबर है। लेकिन अभी क्या होता है, इवन इस केस में क्या हो रहा है कि जब हम आईपी से अप करते हैं ना,
अरे
मतलब सेकेंडरी कनेक्टिविटी के लिए आईपी सेक का यूज करते हैं ना, तो जो भी ट्रैफिक होती है वो मूव इस मतलब आईपी सेक डाउन करने के बाद भी ट्रैफिक जो है ना, मतलब सॉरी ये अपना एमपीएलएस डाउन होने के बाद आईपी सेक पे अप होना चाहिए ना, तो वो क्या करता है आईपी सेक को अपने ही करने देता है। मतलब जब तक हम यहाँ से बीजीपी में से वो 100 का निकालेंगे नहीं ना, तब तक वो ट्रैफिक आईपी सेक पे मूव नहीं होता है। उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? Actually, Salim, we have two connectivity. One is the MPLS or one is IPC. When we added a network in BGP, then it's work with the MPLS. But when MPLS is down, the IPsec is not working until we remove that BGP network. और सर ये मैं सर्वर में चेक कर रहा हूँ कि उनके पास
Hi. Hi, good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, Samir.
Okay, so last week we did some labs in S3 storage, if I remember, and today we are supposed to do the lab of hybrid cloud storage, if I remember. That is nothing but storage gateway, correct?
Yeah.
So, and I told that one of my student will be joining. So just give me a minute. Let me see if he has joined or not. Raghavendra. Raghavendra, are you there? Just a second. Let me ping him. Okay, just a minute.
Yes, sir, I am there.
Okay, thank you, Raghavendra. Raghavendra, can I make you host so that you can present your screen?
Just a moment, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. So just for the larger audience, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to do the very important lab called a storage gateway, which we are supposed to do. As I said last week, that to do that lab, we need to have certain type of things like VMware software and physical computer with memory and processor. So one of my student, Raghavendra, has that device. So he will be sharing his screen, then I will be guiding you how to do that lab. Okay, that is the agenda for today. Raghavendra, let me know once you are ready so that I will give you host permission. Okay. Just give a couple of minutes. Okay.
Yes, Samir, I am ready.
Okay. So Raghavendra, I am making you host. Raghu MB, right?
Both I joined away from the two computers. One computer have audio, another computer no audio.
So which one should I give you host? Raghu MB or?
Both are Raghu MB only. Give me to Raghu MB.
Okay, 1 second. So you are the host now.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, you have to give to other Raghu MB, sir.
Okay, then you need to.
I'll release it. Okay.
Yeah. If you just exit, then automatically it will come. Yeah. You just exit the host, then
Yeah, I'm able to share the screen now.
you're able to share the screen. Okay.
Means I have given to other one automatically.
Okay. Good.
Are you able to see?
Yeah. So let me ask everyone. So guys, are you able to see?
Yes.
Yes, Samir.
Yes, Samir.
Okay. So what is the
Okay.
lab we are going to do? First, understand. Okay, we are going to do a lab called as storage gateway, which means that there are three types of gateway. If you remember in the theory, what are the three types of gateway we have? Volume gateway,
file
And file
gateway.
gateway.
Yes, you remember, right? So now what we are going to do is that we are going to create the volume gateway and to my on-premises environment. Basically, I am going to set up a volume gateway to my on-premises environment from the cloud. Means for my on-premises, my laptop, I will be providing the storage from the AWS. That is what the lab which we are trying to do now in this. Okay. Now to do this lab, there are a couple of things are required. I told you we required a VMware platform, where we can do it, right? So we need the VMware platform, and we also need a software called a storage gateway appliance, which is a software which you need to install in your on-premises environment. That storage gateway appliance software need to be downloaded from the AWS portal, which already Raghavendra might have done it. So we will just show you. To do this, we need to have in our local computer or a laptop, we need to have a software called as VMware Workstation. So or VMware platform. So we are doing in VMware Workstation. And you can see that there is a software in the screen. Now you're seeing AWS Storage Gateway OVA. So that is nothing but this AWS Storage Gateway OVA is nothing but that's a software which you will get it from your Amazon. So from where do you get this software? When you go to the AWS portal, Raghavendra, just take to the AWS portal. I will show them. Click on that storage gateway. When you click on the storage gateway, click on get started. Click on volume gateway. Click on next. And there is an option called as VMware ESXi download image. When you click on this download image, that software will get downloaded to your computer. So that software we need to use in your local server like VMware server or Hyper-V server or a VMware workstation. You can use this software. This already downloaded by Raghavendra. That is the software which he has showed you right now in his screen. That is called as AWS Storage Gateway latest.ova. That is a software. You understood? Okay. Now, how do I install this software? Now go to VMware Workstation and import this software. He is importing the software now to his computer through VMware Workstation. Raghavendra, remember that 500 GB hard disk is required. 150 GB, 150 GB, 2 drives you need to create. Make sure that your D drive has enough space. Now he's importing the software in this software called as VMware Workstation. Whatever he's doing right now in his laptop, it is not in AWS cloud. He's doing in his own laptop.
Sir, as we just saw, D drive is not having 500 GB space.
Yeah, so he has around 393 GB. Some is used. So that, we are going to create 2 drives in that. So that's fine.
Okay, sir.
Samir, I have a question. So to import that file, we need to create a new VMware machine, then we will import that file, right?
Yeah, so you can directly say file import, or you can directly go to the software and you can provide the path and you can import. 2 ways you can do it. Okay.
First, we need to install the VMware.
The software need to be there. VMware Workstation or VMware
Workstation.
Hypervisor software need to be there in your laptop or a desktop.
And from where can we download that?
Raghavendra, go to Google and show them how to download VMware Workstation software. Can you see this VMware Workstation for Windows? This software you need to install in your computer.
Is it free,
Desktop.
sir? Is it free to download?
Yeah, it's a free, but it also has a license. But I think free version, trial version will support some 30 days. Something is there. Okay. Minimize it and go back to your software. Okay, before starting, you need to add 2 hard disks. One is called as 150 GB one hard disk for your uploading purpose, and one is for the caching. So we need to create 2 hard disks for this software locally. For one is for uploading and caching, which is required. That's a prerequisites. So he's creating 2 hard disks, 150 GB each.
Samir, this disk is getting created for this new virtual machine, right?
No, this is for the local computer. Yeah, local hard disk. Yeah, for that VM.
Somewhere 150 GB is mandatory, or we can.
No. Minimum 150 GB is must.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So we have done both the things. Now what we need to do is that we need to power on this machine. So it will take some time to load. So it is just, it's a ready-made software. So you don't need to do anything. Automatically machine gets loaded once you power on. Okay, so the machine is running. So you can log in.
Forgot login ID. AW user, na?
Yeah. So basically username is admin, password is password. Right. So you can see here the IP address is 192.168.11.129 is the IP address of this computer. So which you need to remember. So 192.168.11.129. Okay. So what we need to do is that now we need to come out of this, and because we know the IP address, so let us go to the AWS cloud, and before going to the cloud, let us go and try to install one Windows machine operating system where you want storage to be allocated from the cloud. So let us do that. So now what he's doing is that he's creating one Windows machine, a ready-made Windows operating system. So this, because we are going to assign a hard disk to this from the cloud. So for this to assign, we need a Windows OS. So he is installing one Windows machine, a simple Windows machine. So we are going to test our cloud storage on this Windows machine via that storage gateway. So that is the lab which we're trying to do. So he can create Windows machine in
Already I have created actually. So just I'll show you the steps. So then
Yeah,
I'll cancel it. Yeah.
yeah, sure, sure, sure.
So we have to give the space here. So click on next, finish. So I'm not powering on, just I'm creating, that's it. Okay, so already we have a Windows server here. So this is the Windows server.
Yeah, power on this machine.
So how do we get the Windows image which we used?
Yeah, go to Google and download no Windows OS image.
Okay.
Okay, first VM for storage gateway, second VM for platform.
Testing.
So Samir, both the system are acted in the on premises, right? Not yet in the cloud itself, right?
Yeah, these all are in on premises. These all in his laptop. Okay. Now see, you can see the Windows machine is also running, and storage gateway is also there. Now what we need to do is that we need to configure the storage gateway in the cloud first. So for that we need to log into the storage gateway in the cloud. So he's logging into AWS console now. Go to the AWS storage gateway service.
1 minute. So
You can expand fully. Yeah.
that our this screen is incoming in front actually, or Zoom.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Okay. Now I'll click on next.
Yes. Click on next.
I'll come from the beginning.
Yeah. Again, you can go from a beginning. Yeah. Click on storage gateway. So we are going to storage gateway and click on get started. And here we need to select volume gateway because we are creating the volumes. Okay, cache volume is fine, and click on next. And VMware ESXi, click on next. So here you have two options. One is connecting through public or through VPC. So how you want to connect. So one is public means over the internet. VPC is nothing but the network, LAN network. So I am selecting public because I am connecting via internet. So click on next. Here it will ask you the IP address. So you need to put the IP address of the storage gateway software. So that is nothing but 192.168.11.129. So I put the IP address here and I'll say connect to gateway.
Samir, how do we get that IP address?
That IP address, how do we got it? So I think if you have seen that, once I logged in, once I created the VM, the IP address is shown there. Can you see there? 192.
Okay.
Yeah. So go to the AWS storage gateway software now and give the name time zone is to India time zone, gateway time zone India, 5:30 Bombay. Yeah. Give a name of gateway saying test gateway. Okay. Good. And scroll down and say next. Activate gateway. Yes. So it will take some 1 or 2 minutes to get the local disks. So whatever the disks you created in your on-premises environment, that disks, that 150 GB, 150 GB should be shown here to allocate the upload and caching buffer. Raghavendra, the 300 GB is minimum free is there, no, in that drive, D drive?
Yes, it's free. 150 here, 150 here, D and E. So 300 is there.
Okay, but the disks you have, when you created, you selected one disk in D drive and one disk in E drive, right?
Yeah, that is very small size. So
Okay.
150 plus 60 GB, if we consider also, is within that 269, right? So I selected one in D drive, created in one D drive, and another one in E drive.
Okay, okay, no problem. If it is there, it's no problem. If not, it will fail. That's why asking.
No, no.
Okay, very good. So scroll down and say, okay, so 150 GB allocated to, click on the down arrow and select upload buffer. And the second one is for the cache. So we need to use for one for the uploading and one is for the caching purpose. So second one, select for the cache. Yeah. Cache, click on that. Yeah. So now one is that either you can configure logging or you can click on exit. So you can click on configure logging, and I'm pretty much sure logging is done. Submitting the request, it's fine. So if for the logs and all, click on exit. Okay. Now your gateway is, status is offline. Right? Click on the test gateway once. No. Go back there. Select that. Why your gateway went down or something? Your on-premises environment?
No.
Then suddenly why it lost connection?
Samir, earlier you have given 190 to 168 range IP, right?
Yeah.
So that will be, so how that will be getting, it is a private IP range, right?
Yeah.
So how that will be getting connected over internet?
Yeah, it's a NATed IP basically. Through your public IP of that machine, it is NATed.
Okay.
Yes, connect running now.
Okay. Now you can see, right? It got connected. So what we can do is that we can create the volumes. Like for example, for your Windows machine, let's assume that you need some 200 GB volume or 300 GB volume or 500 GB volume. You can say create volume from AWS cloud, and here he can give, okay, 250, you can say 200 GB. Okay, and give a iSCSI target name, say test ABC. You need to give numbers. Test iSCSI 1, 2, 3.
What is this target name?
Okay, so I told you, right, for the volume gateway, what protocol you need to use? iSCSI, right? Raghavendra, don't put capitals, put it small. Test. Okay, so like iSCSI is nothing but it's a protocol. So if you remember, The file gateway uses what protocol? NFS protocol. Volume gateway uses what protocol? iSCSI protocol. Tape gateway uses what protocol? iSCSI virtual tape library.
Virtual tape library.
Right? So do you remember, right? So whenever you want this volume to be provided to your on-premises environment, you need to create the iSCSI target. So what do you mean by target? So there is two things: initiator and target. Target is nothing but your storage, correct? So let me show you how exactly it works. Then you'll get an idea. Create a volume with this target. iSCSI 123. Say create volume. So where is this volume I have created? I have created this volume in cloud in AWS, correct? 200 GB. Okay. Now this volume need to be provided to where? In your on-premises, correct or not?
Correct.
Yes.
So just a second, wait till this volume gets created. Now go back to till it gets created, go back to the VMware software. Gateway is not get connected. Just check your gateways again offline. Admin password is small PASSWRD.
Okay.
Okay, now check the storage gateway. I think there is some network issue. It is disconnecting. Now cancel it once. Now refresh your status. Okay, now create volume. Yeah, give GB. Yeah, yeah. Give test 1 2 3 4. Yeah, create volume. Okay, it's getting created. So click on skip. I don't want any authentication. So now you have created one volume called as with how many volumes you created? One single volume, 200 GB. So on the left side, click on volume. You can see that 200 GB volume got created. So let's assume this volume you need to assign it to your on-premises machine. So go back to the on-premises. So this is your Windows machine. To this Windows machine, we want to assign it. Okay. Now let us see this Windows machine. So why is this showing black screen? Is this machine rebooting?
No. Maybe memory issue.
Okay.
I'll reboot. Huh?
Yeah. Power off and power on. So basically you have created one more. No, you delete that. I think it should be proper.
No, that is only.
Yeah. You can restart. Sorry. So Raghavendra, what happened? Connected?
Not coming up actually.
Why? What happened? You can do one thing. You can delete and you can again recreate. Not a problem. Maybe your OS is getting hung, so you can create power off that machine and you can start a new machine. No problem at all. Create in a different directory or different drive altogether. And give a less memory, because I think you're using full memory to.
Yeah, only 2 GB is there.
How much memory you're given to storage gateway?
Storage gateway. Uh, 1 minute. It is 16 GB.
Yeah, you have allocated complete to the storage gateway. No, that's why.
You can, okay.
No, leave it like this.
Leave it, yeah.
Yeah, don't do anything. If you disturb storage gateway, the connectivity you will lose. Now just create one Windows VM, simple VM with 2 GB memory and one processor.
Okay, last time let me try this.
Yeah.
Samir, is the storage gateway required that much memory?
Storage gateway. Yes. So basically it's a hypervisor and the VMware you're using, right? So minimum that much is required.
Okay. Whereas Oracle VM, do you know that Oracle VM?
Yeah.
That also can we use it here? That also.
No, as of now, VMware, Hyper-V, and Red Hat KVM.
Okay.
Samir, how we can reduce memory of now AWS gateway?
How we can?
Is it possible? It is better we reduce there, I think, bit.
If you want to reduce, then you need to.
Again, it's a problem. Let it.
You need to shut down.
Yeah.
If you shut down again, reboot again, configuration will change. No, now it should work. Don't worry.
Yeah, it is working. Yeah.
Yeah, go to server manager. Yeah, click on that iSCSI initiator. Okay. Now put the target. What is the target IP address you need to put?
I have to copy from storage gateway, right?
Yeah.
Is it a target name which we have to give here?
Yeah, the IP address of your storage gateway. 192 dot something is there, no?
It is
190. 192.168.11.128. Is it that one?
Yes, yes. What's happening?
Not allowing me.
Okay, basically you need to install VM tools. If you don't install VM tools, it
Oh
will
God,
make you shiver.
closed it. No, I installed it. Okay, 1 minute. I by mistakenly closed the console.
And Samir, meanwhile, this initiator is there, right? When you are creating it in the console, there are two steps was there. One is initiator and the other one is the target. So is initiator is an optional one? And
No, no, no.
why do you?
Initiator is like, so whichever the machine you need in a volume, you need to have the initiator service installed in that machine. Suppose you want in Windows, then you need to install iSCSI initiator in that Windows machine. If you want to do it in VMware, then you need to install iSCSI initiator software in VMware. If you want to install in Linux machine, you need to install iSCSI initiator. Okay.
Purpose of it is to?
Initiator and target. Initiator is nothing but source. Target is nothing but destination. Who is the source? From where you want to install, where you need the storage. Okay, because that machine needs to have the protocol. Correct.
Samir, where do we get the initiator software?
By default in Microsoft OS, you will have that software.
Oh, okay.
If you go to the server manager, there is a iSCSI initiator software will be there.
Okay.
What you're
And
doing?
so the AWS, the on-premises, the gateway you have created like 129 IP, that IP should also put in the targets initiator host,
Yeah, the
right?
moment you put that, it will try to fetch it. Raghavendra, what is that you're trying to do?
I'm trying to copy.
You need to copy, not the here, just minimize this. Go to the VMware IP address, just copy the IP address. Yeah, 192.168.1. Yeah, copy this.
Okay.
Yeah, go to server manager.
iSCSI initiator.
Yeah, tools and go to iSCSI initiator. Yeah, paste the target, paste the IP address. Yeah, say quick connect. So the moment you try to connect, so it should automatically fetch the details. So why it is failing it?
Maybe again the same. Oh, it got killed.
Okay, your VM is not working.
I think some memory issue there. Okay. Task come now.
Okay. Now again, can you refresh and check?
Okay, let me go back. It's running. Okay. Okay, both are there actually. I'll connect to test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, select connect. Yeah, click OK. Okay, it's connected, right? Okay, now close it. Now nothing need to be done. Just close this and go to disk management. Now you should be able to see the 200 GB hard disk in your computer. Go to command prompt and type. Go to command prompt. Yeah, type disk mgmt.msc. Yeah, so scroll down. Can you find that 200 GB? You got it here.
Yes.
Right click and make it online. Online. And say allocate. Right click, initialize disk. Yeah, create the volume. Next, finish. That's it. You got the 200 GB disk for this computer. Let's assume you need more disk. Let's assume you need 500 GB disk for this computer. Okay. Now you can see 200 GB is formatting. Just wait a second. You will find automatically this disk will be visible in the file explorer. Meanwhile, you can create some more drives and you can show them. Go to AWS console, create volume. Let's assume you want to create one more volume of 500 GB, say 500 GB, and say give a name, target name. So you can say test target, okay, target 999, okay, create volume. So I created 500 GB. So where I am creating in storage gateway. Okay, click on skip. Now where is
You are
that?
creating in the same in the cloud itself, right?
Yeah, this is in cloud. You are creating in the cloud, but you are getting this in your on premises. Okay. Now go to the VM, your virtual machine in your laptop, in your computer. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see, go to the Explorer. So you got 200 GB, right? Now you want that 500 GB. Then same way, go to iSCSI. Yeah, refresh. Put the IP address and refresh. You can see, right? Target 1999. Click on connect. Click OK. Yeah, so close it. You will get 500 GB to your computer now. Scroll down. You already got it. Right click and say initiate disk. Online. Okay. You are understanding, right? Now your Windows machine, whatever is there, you're getting the storage from the cloud. This computer doesn't have that much storage. You know, right? Now you're allocating 500 GB, 200 GB, 700 GB, you allocated here only. Now from where you're getting from the cloud. From the cloud, it is giving to storage gateway, and storage gateway appliance is allocating to your machines. You understood? Anybody has any questions?
Yes. So the IP address which is we have put over here in the initiator, that 129. So it will work as a medium, and we are providing the space from the cloud, and it is getting allocated in this particular system, right?
Yes, you're right.
Samir, what is the need of that to hard drive which we have did the 150 GB.
Okay.
It is need.
So you need to understand here. You need to understand here what is the purpose of having hard drive. Two things, like one is that called as upload buffer and one is for caching. So whatever you are trying to get from the cloud, one drive is doing the uploading and one drive is trying to give it working as a cache. So both are required for that particular for your storage gateway to work as a centralized hub, as a proxy where it will try to upload the content and try to cache the content. So that is how the storage gateway has been designed. So as I told you, there are two types of volumes: cached volume and stored volume. So whenever your data should be cached and whenever the data should be stored, so in the background you need to have a solution which can upload your content and which can download, which can provide the caching on your content. So for that purpose only we are creating these two volumes at your AWS environment. For storage gateway appliance, we need to have this available.
Samir, what is the upload buffer? Means whenever we are downloading the, creating the file, for that reason we require the upload buffer. Means what is the term used for this? Means what is the functionality of upload buffer?
Okay, so what is the functionality of upload buffer in your AWS storage gateway? So there are two types of volumes in AWS which I already told you. Okay, so basically what is this storage gateway upload buffer and the other option called as upload cache will do is that two types of disks. Okay, upload buffer, what it does is that the upload buffer provides basically a staging area for the data before the gateway uploads to Amazon S3. So backend it is using Amazon S3, correct? So what it will do is that whenever the user is allocating the drive, so before taking from the S3, the data should get uploaded via internet. So what it does is that this upload buffers provides an area for the data before the gateway uploads to the Amazon S3. So what it will do is that over the internet the data gets uploaded to the S3, because whatever you copy paste, everything should get uploaded in the background in S3. So this upload buffer will upload the data from your on-premises environment to backend of your S3. Now what is this caching? The caching storage acts as the on-premises durable store for the data, basically for the downloading and I operations, for the basically for the latency purpose. Means one is that whatever you are copying the files, uploading the files, everything should move to the S3 in the background. As I told you, whether you take a volume gateway, whether you take a storage gateway, whether you take a file gateway, the backend storage is nothing but S3 storage. But the S3 storage is in the backend. You are not seeing that. So the backend part of the storage gateway is nothing but S3. So this iSCSI protocol, the protocol which you're using to connect, so it should connect via the storage gateway appliance. The storage gateway appliance, you need to have two types of caching. One is called as upload buffer and second one is a cache storage. So upload buffer is nothing but whenever you copy the data should get uploaded to backend of S3. So that will happen with this upload buffer via securely through SSL connection. What it will do is that it will upload the content, upload the data in the background to your S3. Cache storage, what it will do is that it acts as an on-premises I operations. Means for the on-premises, whatever the communication is happening right between the disks, so that will happen through your cache storage. So both are used for these three volumes, nothing but storage, volume gateway, tape gateway, and file gateway.
So I understood. So that means this buffer and upload cache is only for the data purpose. Whenever we are initiating a data transfer or data saving or any of the data purpose, then only it will come into the picture. In normal, when we are creating the volumes and all, and the way in that scenario, it is not come into the picture, right?
It is required, but it doesn't do any operations.
Okay, Samir, got it. Thanks.
Like this, you can create any number of volumes, as many as volumes you want. You can keep on create. So you can see, right, what a wonder. Your machine somewhere, where are you right now, Raghavendra? You are in Bangalore, right?
Yeah, I'm in Bangalore.
So he's in Bangalore and he's getting a storage from Bombay to his on-premises laptop, which is running in Bangalore. So you just see from the internet, you are able to take the storage as much as he needs for his server. I don't need to buy any storage box or nothing. I can take as much as I need from cloud. Just create volumes here as much as you need. Just go click on create volume and go to the Windows or Linux server. Just click on iSCSI initiator, put the IP address of the iSCSI and you'll get the, so you need to understand here who is the initiator and who is the target. Target is storage gateway. Initiator is a requester who needs the storage. So for example, if Raghavendra and myself are there, Samir is there. So if I need the storage, I will be initiator and the target will be Raghavendra. So in my server, I need to put the Raghavendra's IP address, then Raghavendra will provide me. Same way here, what we are doing is that, so your initiator is nothing but the server which needs the AWS storage. Somebody asked, VM machine is necessary to connect. As I told you again and again, how many platforms it will support? VMware, Hyper-V, KV.
KVM.
Without this, you cannot do, sir. So you need to have either VMware Workstation software or VMware ESXi, or you can go with Hyper-V, or you can go with KVM. Without this, you can't.
Samir, may I use this volume for number of servers?
You can use whichever the server you need, you can use it. So right now I am using it in Windows Server. You need to use it in VMware ESXi. Go and configure the iSCSI adapter in your VMware ESXi and use it. You want to use it in the Red Hat KVM, you can use it. Wherever you want, you can use it. It's up to you.
No, the same volume can I use in more than one server?
You are saying that you want to share the disk between 2 to 3 servers? Not possible.
Okay. Suppose my server goes down and I want to get back the data. In that case, what I will need to do?
What is that? Your server went down, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and I need to
Your
get
data
back
is
that.
safe if you are in storage gateway. Your volumes are saved. As long as your volumes are on, your storage gateway is up, you will get your all data back.
No, suppose this VMware is corrupt. Okay, this is the VMware machine, and in that scenario, what will be the case?
VMware machine is corrupt means that Windows VMware machine you're talking about.
Yes.
If Windows VMware machine is corrupt, you can't do anything. Do you have backup?
No, if I don't have backup, then no.
If you don't have backup, gone.
Okay, in that case, I cannot connect that volume, right?
Volume is still available in the cloud. Again, you make your Windows machine online, then you can use the iSCSI adapter to get back your volume. So remember here, Windows machine corrupt means what machine corrupt? Your only C drive, your OS is corrupted.
No. I am talking about this virtual machine which I have connected that volume. Okay, so if my virtual machine is corrupt, okay, in that case, what I can create another VMware and I can connect that volume.
Okay, let me ask you a question like this. Okay, now virtual machine, what you're saying is a part of VMware virtual machine, correct?
Yes.
And the VM is that virtual machine hard disk is running where? In VMware or not?
VMware, yeah.
Correct. Now the disks what you created inside that virtual machine, is it VMware disks or is it storage gateway disks?
It's a VMware disk.
Okay. So your question is not about storage gateway. You're talking about completely on VMware virtual machine disk gets corrupted. You're asking.
Yes.
Okay, that very simple. So Raghavendra, you can answer. You're a VMware guy. What happens when your disk gets corrupted?
Say if a VM disk is corrupted, if we have backup, we can restore. Otherwise, gone. Okay, this virtual volume is in AWS storage. That will remain because it is in AWS.
Correct. So if you are VMware,
Okay, so I have to create again the VM machine, and I can connect that
Yeah,
volume.
yes,
correct. See, first how we target initiated, no? That iSCSI we opened from this server manager and
Yeah.
we gave the IP. Same way you have to connect back. That's it.
Okay.
if your VM virtual machine is down, it's corrupted. If you don't have backup, your VM is gone. Okay, if you have backup, no problem. Or else you create a new VM, and if your volumes are in cloud, then again with iSCSI you can get back to your volumes anytime, no problem at all. So because your volumes are already safe in your cloud, so anytime you can get your volumes, no problem at all.
Okay.
So Samir, I have a question here. If I talk about this iSCSI, as this is using a locally, so in case we create a data store like ESXi host, we create a data store, and from there data store hosts some other VMDKs of the VMs which are residing within that host. Now let's say that particular VMDK is based on one of the particular data store which we have created, and that VM got corrupted by some reason and all. In that scenario also, can we recreate that VM again from that existing data store which is residing on that volume, on that particular on that volume?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
What is the other questions? So now only ask me, because this storage gateway lab will not be able to repeat it, because it is something which is the on-premises environment. So it's very rarely we get this atmosphere. So you have any questions you can ask.
Yeah, when we are creating the at the start, when we start the services, we see two of the in the volume gateway. We see two options over there. One is cache mode, which is by default, and we click on the next itself. So there is another options over there.
There are two types of modes, which I already told you in the theory last week. I'm not sure whether you're available or not. So there are two types of modes. One is called as cache mode. The other one is called as stored mode. So one is cached and one is stored. So what is this cache mode and what is this stored mode? So basically cached volume or stored volume, we say. Cached volume is nothing but when you store the data in S3 basically what it will do is that frequently use data. Suppose if you're regularly using and frequently accessing the application, frequently using, then you can create a cached volume. Stored volume is nothing but it is basically for the low latency access to your data. So which is nothing but asynchronous. It is not a asynchronous. So the difference between synchronous and asynchronous is that suppose you're using a live application, live data, directly working on it, then you can go with the first option, that is called cache mode. Suppose you are maintaining the volume for the backup purpose, means it's not a critical, it is not a regularly working set, then you can go with the stored volume. So the advantage of cached and stored is that performance. If in the cache mode you need a fast performance, in your stored mode if your performance is less, also fine. So basically stored volume is basically used for disaster recovery purpose, and cached volume is used for the regular usage purpose. So if you're using the regular usage as a server, then go and configure cache volume. No, you just want to maintain as a backup or a secondary copy, then you can go with the stored volume purpose.
Can we
And
use
some
both simultaneously? I mean, let's say this test gateway India one.
Gateway you need to create only one by one. You can create. You cannot do both in a single option. Okay. What is the question, Deepika?
Samir, while creating volume, can you click on the create volume there? We will get three options there. One is from EBS, and the other one is clone from the last volume recovery. So based on EBS, that option is for.
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah. So if you click on the create volume, Here you have the, we'll give the capacity and then we have the volume contents. One is new empty volume, which will newly get created, and the other one we have based on EBS snapshot. So are we using that snapshot here? Like if we have any snapshot created, will be reusing, or how does that work here?
So no, here you're getting an option called as create a new volume or based on EBS snapshot. So basically you want to create a volume or you want to make the snapshot of the existing volume is asking. So if you create a snapshot, it will create as a duplicate copy. New volume means you can use it.
Like we have, if we have the snapshot created, or whatever the capacity we are going to create, will that be created as a snapshot as well? Is
Yes.
okay? For example, if I create 200 GB and if I select based on EBS snapshot, then the 200 GB snapshot will also get created. Snapshot volume.
Yes.
Okay. So clone from the last volume recovery means
You are asking like,
what does, yeah, the third option.
yeah. So basically clone from last volume recovery point is nothing but, suppose if you are doing any kind of a recovery like disaster recovery, anything you want to clone is nothing but a duplicate copy you are creating, where snapshot is nothing but, as I told you, point in time snapshot. So volume recovery is nothing but, suppose you have any kind of a recovery, you have configured disaster recovery or anything, that time you can go with the option called as cloning option. You have these three options available.
Okay.
So basically, snapshots and volumes we use. Recovery is if you're planning to maintain as a disaster solution, disaster recovery, then you can go with this. Hope everything is clear when it comes to the gateway. Okay. Thank you, Raghavendra. I think you can stop your sharing. So we are good. Okay. So guys, so with this, I think S3 storage we are done, and we are done with the what is that volume gateways, right? Nothing but hybrid cloud. So there is one more lab which I'll show you tomorrow. That is called as what is this EFS storage, elastic file storage. With that, I think mostly all kinds of storage part is maximum over. So I think you can just do the practice. Then once with that EFS storage labs, we will be good with all the storage labs, and you can try to do by yourself. So EFS lab, you can test it, there's no problem at all. Tomorrow when I show you, you can test it. But for the storage gateway only, you need to have a minimum good laptop or a computer with VMware workstation, and minimum 500 GB hard disk in the local computer. If you have, you can do any kind of labs, or any number of times you can do, only for the storage gateway. For other things like other labs like EFS and other things, you can do anytime. That should not be a problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you, Raghavendra, for your time, and thanks for getting this setup, and very much helpful. Thanks a lot for showing this, so that it became helpful for everyone. They have seen the live how exactly it works, so they can answer very easily in the interviews.
Problem, Samir.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Again, tomorrow we'll catch up with EFS storage, and after that we'll start the networking session.
Samir, hello, Samir.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, thank you.
So Samir, this hello.
Yes, yeah, tell me.
So Samir, just wanted to check the relational database session. Was it scheduled for this week or it is planned for the next week?
We didn't started database.
No,
that was
No,
something
Samir.
which we planned for this week. That is
Yeah,
the
we
reason
were
why.
planned for start, but problem what happened was that somebody is told that, labs has not completed, and I moved to the labs, if I remember correctly. Last week I was supposed to start, but they told that there was some pending labs are there, like S3 and other things. So I thought, okay, let me complete the labs. So we completed all the storage labs, hopefully. And tomorrow, once we complete the EFS and other things, we will, we'll have a good flow of labs are done. Then we'll start networking and database.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.